So I'm here to do a quick talk about a fun module that I've written called PSDetour. Essentially, it's a module that I use to help with reverse engineering and sort of figuring out how things actually tick fundamentally in the actual process itself. What it's designed to do is it's designed to hook Win32 or C-based APIs and allows you to run PowerShell code instead of those actual APIs themselves. So one of the main things that I usually use it for is just auditing how those calls are called, what it's called with, and all the data that it's actually done on there. So a very quick example that we have here, if my laptop wants to work. Oh, come on. Uh-oh. I'm going to blame Windows for this one here. All right. I know the clock is ticking. Let's log out and log back in. I'm feeling it.
Tick. Don't feel any pressure, Jordan. Tick. So, tick.
There we go. We got it back in. We got it back in. Don't worry, guys. Oh, wrong button. Cool. So I have this executable here that all it's doing is it's calling an executable that's printing out the command line that it's running with. So the top line is the raw string, and then we have the arguments that it's running with. In this case here, I've got a hook that's written in PowerShell that's hooking the create process Win32 API. And all this one here is doing is it's going to get the command line that's been passed into it, and it's going to print it to the screen. So it's sort of just doubling up on behavior there. So let's run this one here. So we can see that we have the output. We also have the create process write host string. So we can see that our hook is running that PowerShell code before then calling the underlying API. Fun things that we can do with it. So say if I want to actually edit what's being called. So I'm going to uncomment this line here. It's going to add in those sort of extra values to the original command line and adding in some extra ones. If I run this one here again, I can see that the raw command line being passed in through PowerShell is still that original string, but then now we have those extra values being passed in there. If I was really wanting to be fun, I can actually change the command line entirely. So I can go Windows, System32, CMD, or not CMD. Let's go with who am I. So I'm running this one here. It's now printing out who am I. So that's sort of some very basic examples. I have a repository called PSDetour hooks, which has a whole bunch of hooks built in for things that I've actually been working with. So it's nowhere near as complete as tools like API Monitor, but I add them over time as I actually need them. And there's a few fun ones that are in there. So let's give some actual practical examples. Say I'm a malicious user and I want to capture credentials that people are passing into start process. So I'm going to get a process ID of 7620. So that's my process that I want to attack. I'm going to type in this trace process script. I want to output the format as YAML. I find that easy to read when we've got structured data. I want to hook the create process calls. Then let me remember the PID, 7620, 7620. And I got a typo because I typed that in incorrectly. Here we go, here we go.
You got this. I believe in you.
I've got 1 minute left.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to skip that one there because it's not fun. The real thing that I really wanted to show off is how it works with Invoke Web Request. So in this case here, I'm going to invoke a web request. I'm going to start Wireshark to capture this data. And I want to know how this foo bar is being encoded. As we look in here, it's all gibberish. It's all encoded, all encrypted through TLS. So in this case here, what I want to do is I want to go create a new process. So 1680, I want to go scripts, PSDetour, TLS keylogger. So this is log all the keys. And then I want to restart the capture. Run this one here. Stop that capture. So we can see it's still in TLS encoded. I will go into preferences, protocols, TLS,
6,
and then DTLS
5,
.log.
3,
And we can see here, we have the encrypted
Bye.
value.